time to rest and time to think and really reflect, not just in what you're doing, but self-reflection is extremely important. It's extremely important because that is how we develop and grow as people, is through resting, thinking, reflecting, and then applying. All right, this is kind of the living room slash kitchen area, right? I've got my desktop here, right? Here is where I do all my gaming, just kind of generally just lounging around, hanging out, whatever. I've got my table here, and this is more for kind of like when I have guests over, we can all just sit at the table, hang out, eat, chill, do whatever. Over here, if you come with me, I've got, right, this is, like I said, the kind of kitchen area, stove and oven, right, it's an electric stove. I've got the cabinets, I've got sink, fridge, the usual. Come with me over here. Right, this is my bedroom. All right, I've got just on the mattress on the floor. It's fine. I got my TV. I got my closet here with clothing and whatnot. And then you open this up, which is actually probably, in my opinion, one of the best parts about this apartment is just I have the washer and the dryer, and it's behind those doors, it's just tucked in, right? I can close it, it's nice and snug. Then I have a smaller closet over here, just with a bunch of clothing and like towels and whatnot. And then lastly is the bathroom, right? And just a regular bathroom. My name's Devon Bowers. I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I am in the Army. Specifically, I do information technology. How do I describe my childhood? That's an interesting question. Yeah, my dad, he wasn't around. He eventually died when I was like 9 or so. It was my mom, my brother, and I. And yeah, it was just the three of us. And so, it was usually like go to school, and my mom, very intelligent woman, but she placed a big emphasis on education. Her whole thing was like, it was not a situation of, oh, are you going to go to college? It's like, no, you're going to college. It's not a discussion. It's not an option. You are going to college. You are getting an education. And in part due to that, I have this love of reading. I've been reading a lot as of lately, just because work is work, but work can be very hectic at times. But no, I love reading, and if you come to my mom's house, right, on the porch, there is a small, like, plastic bookshelf filled to the brim with books. You come to the dining room, there's a wooden bookshelf filled to the brim with books. And so it is, we were a reading family. Like, reading is just what we did for fun, So yeah, I've always liked reading. I've liked, because Mom was an English teacher. So I liked reading, I liked writing, I liked history. But yeah, I think I had a pretty like kind of average childhood, I guess. I know some things are just part of the job description, and with the military, no matter what branch you're in, for the most part, like, it just comes with a job description. Like, you are going to be moving a fair amount, right? And so you get used to having this nomadic lifestyle, and there are a lot of pluses and minuses to it, right? The pluses of being, right, you get to see different parts of the country, different parts of the world, Because if I hadn't joined, I probably would have never went to Korea, right? Or so many places that I've been in the States, right? So you get to travel a lot, and you get to experience so many different things that a lot of people probably don't get to. But at the exact same time, the trade-offs are you're moving around all the time. And so you never really feel that you're able to really lay roots, or the friends that you make, you get the feeling that not that they don't matter, but it feels kind of temporary, you know? Between that, it's a very temporary feeling, and because you know either they're going to be leaving or you're going to be leaving or whatever. And then in terms of family and my friends back home in New Jersey, it can get, it's not that it's rough, right? It's because people, it's kind of frustrating in a sense because people are like, oh, well, we have modern technology. You can text, you can video chat. I'm like, that is true, yes. But for me, nothing replaces being able to sit down with someone and face to face, have a conversation, talk, or just like hang out, you know? Nothing can really replace that. I like being able to just physically sit there and be with people and hang out with my friends, with my family. So yeah, that's definitely a downside to it. I guess growing in the military, they tend, right, to accumulate stuff. But even then, right, depending on your living situation, that's where there are limits, right? Because if you're in the barracks, then you're limited because in general you don't have a lot of space in the barracks, right? Your space is limited. And also just because you know you're probably going to be moving, if you're smart about it, then you're not going to really be getting a ton of things. But then, right, if you are married, then obviously that's a different story entirely because between you and your spouse about what you're getting and when you're getting it and how much you're getting it, right? Obviously, if you're married, you're going to have a lot more stuff. Whereas for me, I have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, and I always knew in the back of my mind that eventually I would be going somewhere else, and that I probably won't be able to get an apartment, you know, whether that still be within the U.S. or that be overseas, right? I knew that I would not be able to have all the amenities and things of that sort were I to move, you know, when I would be moving. So it's like, I might as well just go and just have the bare minimum. So because that makes moving a lot easier, and then it creates less worry because then you're not, right, everything's clutter, everything's everyone. It's like you gotta think, oh man, did I get this? Did I get that? It's like, nope, if you don't have anything, then you don't have to worry about forgetting stuff or leaving stuff or whatever. It's just like, hey, just come get these couple boxes and we're good to go. My friends will sometimes get on me, they're like, bro, there's nothing here. I'm like, well, yeah, there's like so much empty space. I'm like, yeah, there's a beauty in a sense of, there's in a sense a beauty in negative space, right? To where like, we're so used to cluttering everything in and just, you have to constantly moving around stuff. And it's like, no, I don't, right? There's a beauty in being able to get up and just move around and just having open space where you can just, if you want to sit down, you can sit down on the floor. If you want to lay down, you want to, I don't know, I wanted to like do push-ups or whatever, right? You want to do some workouts. Right now, I've got all this space instead of trying to go and right, move stuff around because I've got so much stuff. I really don't see the point, and I think that a lot of times people will have stuff, and this isn't the right to criticize anybody, but I think a lot of times people do have stuff because we are, right, as Americans, right, we are a consumer society. A lot of it is based around people buying stuff that they don't really need. And we just so many people go in to dive into that head first, you know? Yeah, I think a fair amount of it in some ways is consumer society. And this isn't to say, you know, that you can't have nice things. You're like, hey, I really, you know, get a display or whatever, you know, maybe some ceramic flowers or whatever your situation, you know, whatever it is you like, you want to display those. You're like, hey, I really like this. Like, that's perfectly fine, right? But just the constant need to just buy. And then it's like, okay, do you even use half that stuff? Or does it sit around and collect dust? Or do you like, oh, I used it and I'm tired of this, and you just shove it in a garage or something when you could go and donate it, right? Or give it to a friend or whatever, you know?